what your issue is with you people? You guys like to fantasize. You meet someone, you're like, oh wow, I'll marry this person. I'll have 7 children with them. No.
When someone, like a man, does something for me big, like for example Landon, he told me send me your PayPal. So I was like, okay, let me do it. Let's see what he does. And then he sent me $10,000. And then I thought, wow, like he's literally sending me $10,000 so I would reply to his messages. And then I thought, wow, like maybe I should give him a chance because look how, like what he's doing, like a big thing to do, you know what I mean? And then he bought me a Rolex, which was 2 weeks after we met. And for me, that was such a big gesture because before that, no one had ever bought me anything designer or anything. And now all of a sudden I have like a 15K watch, which is for me like, oh my God, like, oh, that's such a big gesture. So then I did give him a chance. And
my partner now, literally from the get-go, I never had to worry again about money because he had everything covered for me. He paid all my bills, everything. I literally didn't have to worry about anything anymore. I just know that you want to post quotes being like, if you're not even worthy of a reply, then don't think that you're worthy to have me in your life. Who cares? Like, who genuinely cares about your stupid quote? I want you to find clown shoes, yeah? When you find the clown shoes, I want you to take them and put them on because that's literally what you are. You're just a clown.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. I do ram content on my channel whenever I can. You see the setup, so we have these lights with some flowers on them and stuff, and then we have the iconic poster with Neville Peppermint on it saying pretends to be shocked, because I feel like we always do that on this channel.
No way, they're paying me to do this.
How much?
$5.
I'll give you 10 to release me.
Deal.
Now you get nothing.
I want to talk about the Wizard Liz. I know this might be controversial given that my first video was seemingly controversial. Not that much. I think it was just like a lot of mixed discourse. And I just wanted to give my opinions about the like recent stuff regarding her, more particularly regarding like her and Landon, are like they together and all that stuff. And that she had also released a video talking about like the whole experience with Landon and all that stuff that happened. So I wanted to talk about it, give my opinion, and talk about like all this stuff. Like always, please don't send any hate to anybody mentioned in this video. Purpose of the video is just to talk about it, give our opinions, and overall have a nice and respectful conversation in the comments below. Please keep it respectful because in my last Wizard Liz video, it did get very heated in there. I feel like there were a lot of sides that were being rude to like me, other people, and especially Liz, and I don't condone any of that. So please, if we have a conversation in the comments, please keep it respectful. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I do want to talk about my first video I made about the Wizard Liz. So a lot of people had some good points. A lot of people gave me some critiques on the video. And one thing that I was critiqued on was that Liz does have like good topics that she brings up, and she does give like, you know, advice to women and stuff, which I never said she didn't. I did say that she does have like good takes and stuff. But my main thing was her takes on relationships and how I just don't think women, like young women, should be taking that as base value. Don't get me wrong, I do think that Liz has helped women feel more confident in themselves and feel like more, I guess you could say more powerful and like more like in their like space, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, no, I fully think she's helped women kind of in that sense also. In the sense of relationships though, and like all that stuff, I just don't think it's a very ethical mindset to be pushing to young women that they should be kind of seeking like money as like the main thing in a relationship. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's right. I feel like, you know, if you want to be in a relationship with someone, you want to be in it because you genuinely love and care for that person. And if you see yourself like, you know, having a future with this person, like, you know, maybe getting married or maybe having kids, you want to genuinely love that person and be there for them. Don't get me wrong, like money is like important to be stable and have like stability and stuff in a relationship, but it is not really it's not really the important thing. It's one of an important thing, but it's not the main thing, you know what I mean? It's not really the main thing. Like communication is important, love is important. Yes, money is important in some aspects, but it's not the main thing. And that's mainly where I was kind of coming from. Now, the main point of my commentary video was mainly talking about the comments Liz made at the Oxford Union, in which they were having the debate about the women's commodification and if it's gone too far. And she had made the comment that women should make men pay for their lust, which I instantly read that as SW. I don't agree with it. I think it does more harm than good to women. And I really don't think it's the feminist take or the feminist movement that people think it is. Now, I don't think we should shame anybody who has been affiliated with SW or is currently in it. I don't think any woman or anybody who does it should be shamed. It's just something I personally don't agree with. But that's how I read it. I read it as that. And because you can read it as that. Because making men pay for their lust, that's what the industry is. And it's a very harmful industry. And I don't think young women should be getting involved in that type of industry. I just don't think it's a very safe environment for women. I really don't agree with it. And I really don't think it should be pushed onto young women. It's really sad that it's pushed onto women right when they turn 18. And I don't agree with it. We already saw this, like, you know, with Lil Tay, that she just turned 18 and she opened an OF account. And it's really sad that that's, like, you know, being pushed as normalized when it really should not be normalized. So that's how I looked at it. I don't think that that should be something that, you know, you push for. I really don't agree with that. I don't. And she probably could have meant it in a different way, like the way she says that, like, oh, men bring to the table money and women bring to the table looks. But that's, like, so superficial in my opinion. It very much is. And like I said, a relationship really shouldn't be based on money or looks or anything. It should be based on love and communication and, like, you know, genuinely caring about your partner. And that's just something I feel like she doesn't really talk about, kind of. I feel like she mainly pushes this whole transactional monetary type of relationship. That's how I looked at it. That's what I thought. So I just wanted to clear up some stuff about that. And I do want to say that I was a little bit wrong about, like, you know, Liz not really, I guess you could say not really, like, educating women about, like, you know, having their own money and stuff. She has said that, and that was on me. I want to apologize for that. But I think my point still stands. I don't think a relationship should just be solely based on seeking out another person just for monetary gain. I don't think so. Other than that, and the point I made about Liz having good points, like regarding confidence and stuff like that, other than that, I stand by everything with what I said in my first video, because genuinely, like I said, I don't think a relationship should be transactional. I really don't. I think you should be with someone because you want to be with them, not because of money. That's just how I look at it, right? Now that I've cleared that up, I want to move on to the more recent topic. So there's been, like, discourse online about if Liz and Landon are back together. Now, I don't know for a fact if they're back together or not, but there was a video that was circulating on TikTok in which it was Liz and Landon. They were at an airport and somebody had saw them there and posted online, right?
She answering. And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell.
Now, the video was taken down a couple days after it was posted, and then the user of that video went private. And that was kind of interesting to me, honestly. So people speculate online if the user who posted that video, if they willingly took it down, because people were, like, sending them hate. A lot of Liz fans were sending them hate, saying it was an old video and that that person was starting drama and stuff that wasn't there. Or if Liz had contacted that person to take the video down. Now, I don't know what's true or not, like if Liz contacted the person or if the person willingly took it down, I don't know. But they took it down, but it's already, you know, archived. You can find it online wherever, right? So the TikTok that was posted about, like, Liz and Landon at the airport, when that was posted, a lot of people were calling Liz out for not practicing what she preaches, and people were referencing her video in which she was telling women to go get the clown shoes on and stuff if they take back a ex who did them dirty or, like, cheated on them and stuff.
Instead of texting him when you're on your phone anyways, I want you to go to a shoe site, yeah, like any shoe site, whatever, wshoe.com, and click your pair, like your shoe size, whatever, and I want you to find clown shoes, yeah. When you find the clown shoes, I want you to take them and put them on, because that's literally what you are. You're just a clown.
It is kind of a practice what you preach type of moment, because she's kind of gone on her channel to kind of, like, judge, like, these women, or, like, just in general women who have taken back a ex who's done them dirty, who have taken back an ex in general, who have, like, stayed when someone has cheated on them. She seemingly judged women for, like, taking back a bad ex or, like, allowing things to happen and stuff like that. She seemingly judged women for that. But then when she was spotted out and about with her ex-husband at an airport, all of a sudden, like, you know, she's, like, kind of defending that, which, don't get me wrong, I do think she should be, like, you know, taking, like, the money. He should be paying for, like, the stuff regarding the baby. I do think that. But I do see where people are coming from, that it is a practice what you preach type of moment. So Liz made a statement regarding it in which she had said that, like, you know, that her and Landon are not together, it's fake news and whatever, but she never denied that they were together at the airport. So we can already tell from that they were actually together at the airport. That was them. In the next story, she said that she's still in contact with Landon to pay for like her like medical stuff and whatever. And to be honest, I'm gonna be very honest, I think she should be, you know, that's his kid too. I think she should be doing that. I really think, you know, here he did her dirty. She should be like, you know, being able to like have him pay for like the stuff she needs for her pregnancy. I agree with that, right? She also makes a comment that they're trying to figure out like, you know, living situations because she doesn't want the baby to have to like travel to see Landon because Landon's from the US and then Liz is kind of based in Dubai, I think. Now, regarding where the baby's going to be born and the living situation and everything, one thing I do want to talk about that has been brought up in a Reddit page is something that I don't think should be like happening, but it happened. So if you guys don't know what a snark page is basically where people will like make a snark page for like an influencer, a celebrity, etc. And a lot of the time it's to talk about like bad things that they've done. But other times it's for people to just like hate on them for like no reason kind of. There was one thing that was posted in the Wizard Liz snark page that I have a screenshot of because it was later deleted. Was basically a user who was trying to get Liz in trouble with ICE and get her reported with ICE. They basically accused Liz of trying to get a visa like that you get when you marry a US citizen, even though Liz has stated that her and Landon are not together. They're accusing her of basically trying to attempt to get a visa like that and that they should report her to ICE. And I do want to say this. You do not know Liz. You do not know Liz. I do not know Liz. Unless you know her in real life, this should not be happening. You do not know the situation. And especially like if you do not live in the US, right now what's going on with immigration is terrible. It's really scary. So for someone to want to report her to ICE with no solid proof of her causing like committing visa fraud, you genuinely do not know what is going on, and you can get her in trouble when she probably hasn't done anything wrong. That's one thing I really do not agree with. I do not think that somebody should be doing something like that, especially when you do not know the full story, and that can put her like on a radar type list and whatever. And one thing I need people to understand is that the baby is going to be granted citizenship regardless on if Liz has it or not, I believe, because Landon is a US citizen. So yeah, I don't agree with something like that. I really don't think people should be doing that. I think it's so messed up, especially with what's going on with ICE right now in the US. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this has happened to a YouTuber before. So if you all don't know who Adam McIntyre is, he is the one who said his story with Colleen Ballinger and how she was very like predatory towards him and like just overall very weird to him when he was underage. And he basically, his snark page that was not being moderated basically tried to get him in trouble with ICE, I believe. And it's really, really sad and scary that that happened to him because I don't even think, he never did anything wrong. And a lot of the people in his snark page are Colleen Ballinger fans. And the one thing though with the Wizard Liz snark page is that that's moderated. And so that comment and any comment trying to get her in trouble with ICE, I think, was taken down. So honestly, that's good. But it has happened. Like that has happened to people. So that's why I really do not condone anything like that. And like, it's one thing to not like her content and all that stuff, and it's another to like interfere with something you have no idea about. And I just want to end that with that. So in the next story, she then goes on a rant about how money has never done her dirty and that how money is her soulmate. And I just feel really bad for her. I'm gonna be honest. I feel genuinely really bad for her. That, you know, I think she genuinely loved Landon. Like, she genuinely loved Landon, and she's so upset what happened. Because I feel like, you know, she put, like, all the eggs in one basket with him. She got married to him. She's having his kid. And now, you know, it's like she has this persona she has to keep up on the internet about, you know, this woman who is, like, this, like, wizard of love and, like, wizard of relationships and just in general and stuff, right? She has this persona that's now crumbling because he cheated on her. And I just feel genuinely bad for her because it's like she cannot be open about how she genuinely felt because she has to keep this persona up. And honestly, I think if she was vulnerable, I think, you know, a lot of people would, I think, really be happy to see that. I'm gonna be honest, I think they'd be happy to see that, but I think she's afraid that here she built herself up as this like confident woman who it could never happen to her, she could never be cheated on, and then it did happen. And I just feel really bad for her. I really do, because I do think she genuinely loved Landon. Like, you know, she felt really comfortable enough to get married to him and like have a baby with him. And I guess what I find weird is that because she's saying that she, like, you know, kind of did this for money, like money's her soulmate and whatever. So you're telling me you got married to a guy for money, you were having his baby for money, and that's where I just don't buy it. I really don't buy it. And I think, you know, she genuinely loved him, but she's afraid to admit that. And, you know, I think it's okay. I think she should be vulnerable. She should be vulnerable and open up about how she really felt about him. But I know she has this image she needs to keep up, and it's sad because at this point it's an image that she built up that she can no longer maintain, and it's really sad. It's really sad to say. I guess what I found weird about the whole Instagram story she had posted after like being caught with Landon is that like she kind of contradicts herself when she was saying that like money's her soulmate and that she's only ever been after money, not love. And then she says like, oh, money is not the most important thing, that love can be platonic and everything like that. And I agree, but she just basically said she's only ever been after money. And I just feel really sad for her that, you know, she has to think that way. And I just don't think she's ever healed, because she talks about her past and stuff. She like witnessed a lot of stuff growing up, and that money was like something that's like she needed to be stable, and that's kind of what she's always felt like, that she had to be in survival mode. And honestly, I feel like, you know, she talks about going to therapy and stuff, and I really think she has never really fully healed from that part of her life. And like, I get it, it's always going to be a part of you and stuff, but I think like, you know, in order for you to have a very loving, successful relationship, you need to heal that part of your life. Like you really do.
I don't really get attracted to men. I just get attracted when they do something for me.
You should not be dating them. Like, I'm sorry, but it sounds like there's some self-discovery to be done. And this is so funny because this is what so many people specifically accuse men of doing. And this is why I like Wizard Liz, okay? She's gonna say the quiet part out loud. And she goes on to say that because she didn't have a father, she's kind of looking for that in a partner, which, yes, ew, dad stuff. Like, you can't even escape the daddy issues when they don't have a father. Like, how do you want to date someone you've never met? But anyways, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more focused on the I'm not attracted to men part. I think you need to focus on that, unpack that, and find out what that means for you. Because it's like, if you're not attracted to men, why were you getting engaged to a man? Why did you get pregnant by a man? And this is not me saying I don't believe that she's not attracted to men. I 100% believe that. And I know she's not the only woman who feels like that, but I'm saying this is such a common thing that a lot of people need to unpack rather than just pushing through it. How many times have we seen women post like, men just aren't attractive, you know, da-da-da-da. Like, we talk about men being secretly gay all the time, which again, I know not being attracted to men doesn't mean inherently gay, but like, oh, men aren't actually attracted to women, it's a secret, blah, 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 they're DL, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, look at this, and look at many such cases of people feeling this exact same way. And what does it sound like? You know what
One more thing I do want to point out that is kind of a little bit of a contradiction, just because of stuff she said earlier in her like career and stuff, or like just on her channel or in general. She has said that her mother was like forced to work, and her mother was like, you know, mainly the provider in the family.
My partner to pay all my bills and do everything financially for me, because I grew up watching my mom go to work every single day, work in between men, and her ex-husband lay at home, do nothing. And then after like a long abusive marriage like that, where she was the provider, he ended up cheating on her with a younger woman. Now he has a family with this woman, and guess what? He is providing everything for this woman.
For me, a broke man, how I classify it, is like my dad. My dad refused to work. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to figure out how to work. He made my mom work her whole life, and she was taking care of him, okay? He didn't respect himself, and he didn't respect my mother.
But then in the Instagram story, she said that her father never allowed her mother to work. So it's just, I don't know if she meant like her mother was like the provider, like she took care of the kids and she was like a stay-at-home mom. I don't know if she means that, but it's kind of just a contradiction that she says that her mom couldn't work, but her mom was like the one working, like the only one working because the dad didn't work. I don't know. It's just so weird. It's just weird that that's like, it seems like a contradiction on her part. But overall, she grew up in a like, you know, bad home life, and it's really sad that, you know, this part of her life is still affecting her. And ultimately, like I said, I think that if you genuinely want a loving, healthy relationship, that's a part of you, like, you know, that you need to heal, you need to work on and stuff in order to seek out that healthy relationship. A couple of days ago, before she posted her video, she had posted some pictures or stuff on Instagram stories in which she was saying like, oh, like, Liz is like a relationship coach, whatever. And she said, when did I ever talk about love? When did I ever talk about relationships? And the thing is, she has talked about it, but like a lot of her stuff is also deleted now. But like she has talked about love and relationships. She made a video, like before she took it down, she made a video about how she was getting married to Landon. She's talked about relationships and like what you should seek out in relationships in some of her videos that are still up. So she has talked about it. So I don't know why she makes comments like that. I don't think she's a relationship coach per se, but I don't know why she acts like she doesn't talk about love and relationships when she does. And I don't know. I just overall, after seeing her new video, I really just feel bad for her that I do think this whole like thing with Landon, I think she genuinely did love him, but she has to keep this front for like the media and like all this stuff because she's afraid of like ruining her image. And it's really sad that like, you know, this like person, this like identity you built up as like a social media person, influencer, whatever, you can no longer maintain it. And it just comes to show we're all human. We're all human beings. We're all like, you know, we'll all go through stuff as well. But like, I guess when like, you know, you had people saying, oh my God, the Wizard Liz got cheated on. Like, what does that mean for the rest of us? When in reality, it doesn't really mean anything. You can tell that that's like kind of something, you know, people hold her in this high regard and she's afraid to like let them down. I guess that's how I look at it. And like, I just overall just feel really bad for her. But yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say about this. I just wanted to like clear up some stuff from my first video and then just talk about my opinion on the more recent stuff as well. And yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and comment down below what else you guys want me to talk about on my channel. Yeah, that's kind of it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe. Please keep it respectful in the comments. Yeah, stay safe. Have a great day or night depending on where you live, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye, guys.